Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain For You. I'm back at my little arboretum. The day got away from me, went to go out and shoot, and the lawn cutters were, on the property that I'm renting a place at. So here we are. This is more peaceful and very nice anyway. Today's topic is going to be the body heals and all chronic pain is learned. All right, so maybe it'll be injuries heal and all chronic pain is learned. So take a couple of nice deep breaths. And breathe in the nature. Exhale the indoor living. Breathe in the quiet. Exhale the noise. Breathe in the confidence. Exhale the doubt. So, the body always heals and all chronic pain is learned. Alright? So there's a lot of cases where some people will say, well, I got this injury and I still hurt, so it must not have healed. And invariably they say, oh, I threw my back out and then got some MRIs and I had this, I had that. And they kind of feel like, they messed up their back for good. But I will say that the body heals. And most findings on MRI or X-ray are incidental. They were probably there a long time ago. Most. Not to say you cannot injure yourself, but most. And I will also say that an injury is often just an acute onset of TMS, right? So I bent over to put on my underwear. I know, embarrassing. And that injury started up, 13 years worth of back pain. So what happened there? Pain became chronic. And all chronic pain is learned, and essentially it all works back to the purpose of pain. The purpose of pain is to protect us from doing anything that may harm us or cause damage. So in my case, bending over to put on my underwear wasn't dangerous, but TMS started. It was an acute onset of TMS, nothing more, nothing less. And it was a particularly stressful time of my life. Young kid, money problems, marriage was good but showed some signs of weakness. Long commute, stressful job, did not own a house, was renting at the time. And so I also had the personality of somebody who I never let anything bother me. I was pretty cool, laid back, zen. And when I was feeling all these emotions, particularly anger at what was going on in my life, didn't work, so I repressed it. I shoved it aside. That wasn't who I was. So my acute onset of TMS was as a result of all that kind of stuff. But it felt like an injury. And 3 days later, I could barely get into the car to go to the chiropractor. And the medicines, the muscle relaxants, didn't help. So a lot of stuff, just kind of cascaded from there. And as I've said a number of times, the pain happens. An acute onset of TMS or whatever it may be. But through fear, focus on the symptom, and anxiety about what if this never goes away, the brain learns to keep those pain signals persistent. And it all goes along with the purpose of pain, to protect us. So if we fear that we've got a bad back, like I thought I did for a long time, the brain's job was to stop me from doing anything that might further injure this bad back of mine. And so injuries heal. I do believe you can tweak a muscle, lifting something, or dragging something, or exercising, or doing any number of things. Yes, we can injure ourselves. But if you start looking at how long does it take for injuries to heal, you will find invariably that most heal within days, weeks, maybe a few months. So that's why one of the criteria for do I have TMS is, how long have you had the pain? Has it been more than 6 weeks? If so, check. That's one of the indicators that perhaps TMS is at play. And I will say that most of us with TMS for a long time, that chronic pain from the TMS onset is not likely now learned. And so, again, the body heals, and all chronic pain is learned pain. Because unless you've injured some body part that you use all the time, like you twist an ankle, the doctor says stay off it for 6 weeks, and you start jogging again after a week just because you can't help yourself. Yes, you can, through use, continue to aggravate an injury to the point where it won't heal so much. But even with that, I believe, the body's still going to heal. It's just going to take a lot longer, right? I won't say there's no such thing as a permanent injury. Breaking or severing your spinal cord, that's a permanent injury. That's probably not going to heal. It won't heal. But the things that we're dealing with, most of it, I think it's chronic learned pain. And, the way out is to do the opposite of what learned the pain. So if fear of the pain, focusing on it intently with a lot of emotion, and the anxiety about the symptom or the pain and what that means about our life, if fear, focus, and anxiety is what makes it chronic, well, the good news is doing the opposite of that is going to make it not chronic and turn off the pain signals. See, the brain, again, is just being overprotective. It doesn't want you to get hurt again. So it keeps the pain going. I know that seems counterintuitive, but it keeps the pain going so you don't move, so you don't bend, so you don't hurt it again. But again, if you can turn down the fear with accurate knowledge that this is just TMS, or it's even just learned pain, and that my body's actually okay, I can turn down the anxiety and the fear. And by doing the thing I say often, which is focus on living your life, shift your attention away from the pain or the symptoms as often as possible, that sends another message of safety to the brain. And so accurate knowledge plus messages of safety will teach the brain we don't need the pain anymore, and it can go away. And it can work like that. It absolutely can. So for anybody who feels like, but I had a real injury, Dan, this TMS stuff, I'm not sure if this applies to me. I just really wanted to clarify that even if it was a true injury, a muscle pull or a muscle strain or a twisted ankle or something, these things heal. They almost always heal. And any pain that persists was was likely due to this learned pain, this how pain becomes chronic, fear, focus, and anxiety. So turn it around, do the opposite. Lose your fear. Your fear is not protecting you. Being afraid of hurting when you wake up in the morning is not protecting you, right? Being anxious about it and thinking about all the awful things in your future as a result of your pain is not helping you. And staring at your pain all day long, staying focused on it intently with fear and anxiety is not helping you. So try it. Decide that you're not broken. The injury, if there was one, has long ago healed. There's nothing to be anxious about. Your future is going to be great because you now know this accurate information called TMS. That's the reason you're hurting. And, learned pain can absolutely be unlearned. Look at Dr. Schubner's book, Unlearn Your Pain. He actually wrote a book about it. So this isn't just Dan making stuff up. There's some real doctors out there that are speaking about this process. So again, fear, focus, and anxiety turn things chronic. Doing the opposite will turn them off. And so trust your body to heal. It does. If you doubt that, think back to the last time you cut your finger in the kitchen. Body just grew itself back together, seemingly miraculously, right? When was the last time you scraped your knee or your elbow? What happened? Grew itself back together. It healed. The body does that. And it's no different for a muscle strain or, overuse of something. You pull something in the gym, give yourself some rest. Smart to do that so you don't teach your brain that it's, a long-term problem. But give your body some time to heal, and it always does. So I know I'm going to get some pushback on this because people say, but Dan, what about? Again, if you do have a true injury and you don't give it a chance to heal, like if you cut yourself in the kitchen every day, 18 times a day, you're picking at the scab or picking at the wound and pulling it open, no, it's not going to heal right. But again, if you give your body the chance to do what it's supposed to do and heal, it will. So if I get some pushback, that's cool. Let's have a dialogue. Comment below if you agree, if you disagree. But this should be a very positive message for anybody who's hanging on to the belief that I had an injury from a long time ago. And oh, by the way, this absolutely goes for people who had surgery too. How many of you raise your hand if you said, no, but I had surgery and they screwed it up because I still hurt? A lot of times, surgery heals fine, but the fear, focus, and anxiety makes the pain from the surgery chronic. And then we can come to the conclusion that the doctor botched it. So, trust your body. It will heal. And just look at any long-term chronic pain as learned. The brain has learned to keep the pain signals going. And if that's the case, you can unlearn it as well. So, hopefully you found this message helpful. I'll give you another view of the pond here. It's almost sunset. Probably have another 30 minutes of daylight. So I will wish you well. Happy Monday, if there is such a thing. And we will see you guys and gals tomorrow. Love you.